What is up, everybody? It's Dante Walton here. Today I'm going to give my spoiler review for episode 7 of The Last of Us. But before we get things started, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for more content like this coming soon. So once again, I'm going to say this is a spoiler review for episode 7 of The Last of Us. I'll be spoiling anything that's happened up to here in the show. As for the game, the show's already passed by a mile what I've played in the game, so can't really spoil anything that's going to happen past this in the game, to be honest. But yeah, let's get right into the review. Yeah, I like this episode. Another good episode, I gotta say. Kind of like I was, man. I said like last time that I didn't think Joel was gonna die at the end of the episode, and it seems here that for now he's still surviving. But yeah, he's struggling though. Joel is definitely struggling, and yeah, one thing I will say about this episode, I do like how it was structured. It's similar actual like structure to episode 3, which has like moments with Joel and Ellie like on the bookends, and then the majority of the episode is told like through like flashback sequence. But for here, it's I don't know, like thinking about it like back again. It's pretty smart how they did it. It starts with Joel like basically telling Ellie to just leave him and to go north and find Tommy, basically save herself, because Joel believes that he's gonna die here. And Ellie does go up the stairs, and it seems like she's about to leave, but as soon like she kind of hesitates a little bit, about to grab the doorknob, then it cuts to the flashback of her in Pedro school, the military school that we know that she was sent to because she was an orphan. But then we learned about like her roommate and her best friend who was gone for 3 weeks, Riley, played by Storm Reid, which I actually thought Storm Reid did a really good job here. I've always been impressed by Storm Reid, though, to be honest. But yeah, she did a great job here as Riley. She left to join the Fireflies. She takes Ellie on what is revealed later on to be like her kind of her farewell to her, because she's gonna be stationed in the Atlanta QZ. She takes her to the mall that's supposed to be sealed off, because it's supposed to be crawling with infected. We do know that there's at least one infected in there, though. Why did it have to be in the American Girl store? I don't know. And I know this isn't technically a zombie show. It's infected and all that. And I respect that, but I do have to mention like the obvious here. Or maybe not the obvious, but like the history that mall settings have in like zombie type media. Obviously Dawn of the Dead. Both versions of the movie, and also like Dead Rising and stuff like that. So it's interesting. That's probably a conscious decision from like The Last of Us. This is probably in the game, but like it's probably a conscious decision to set this story like in a mall and all that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I did really enjoy Ellie and Riley's relationship as they showed it here. Bella Ramsey and Riley Reid really did have a good chemistry. But yeah, like Riley's basically showing Ellie all this stuff at the malls, the wonders of the malls. She said the 4 wonders plus 5 if you include the escalators, which was really cool. Like, just it's the things that you take for granted, you know. Seeing like, I don't know, like 20 years after like a major outbreak wipes out a lot of humanity and things just completely shut down. The things that you take for granted that we have access to now, and it's cool seeing from their perspective, like I don't know what they think of all this stuff. Like one scene that was really cool was the arcade. It really did look like a 2003 arcade, I gotta say. The only thing was missing. My personal favorite game during that time period was probably Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but they did have the Mortal Kombat 2, which was something that Ellie brought up in episode 3. Speaking of episode 3 again, where she talked about how one of her friends told her about Melina and like the fatality that we actually see it happen here in the episode. All that was really cool. But yeah, things don't end up so well, and we're kind of they're piecing a little bit of information that we already had. Ellie had already told Tess that when she got bit, she was in the mall that she knew she wasn't supposed to be in. Marlene had already mentioned to her, like, oh, terrorist? Was Riley a terrorist? So we know that Riley had some sort of affiliation with the Fireflies and all that stuff. So it's really cool seeing it in flashback form. But yeah, in the Halloween store, like It was after like a sweet moment too. Like Ellie kind of tells Riley, or kind of like asks her not to go, and she seems to agree with it, and they kiss. After there's a lot of tension throughout the whole episode, I could really feel between them. They kiss, and then the infected comes, attacks them. They both get bit, and it's interesting to see the two different reactions here. Ellie, she's like just smashing things up. She's letting out her anger, while Riley is kind of more calm and processing it in a different way. Because they did talk earlier about how, like when they found like a dead body earlier in an abandoned building, and Ellie asks, "Is that the first dead body she's seen?" And Riley explains that no, because her parents, and it probably explains why she was in the federal school. She saw her parents die, and yeah, so like Riley, she has experienced some sort of loss before. Maybe, and possibly this is the first really big loss that Ellie's had to deal with, which is she thinks that both her and Riley will die. So it's interesting the two different responses to that information, basically. But Riley does explain there's two options they can do. Option one, they can just end it there. Like it'll be quick and painless, but she doesn't want to do that. She'd rather do option two. They just stick it out, Basically, just wait for the inevitable to happen, that they both turn into monsters or infected, and at least they spend their moments together, whatever time they have left. So she says like basically it's either 2 minutes together or 2 days, and it seems like she chooses the latter. But I like how they didn't actually show what happens next, because I don't know, it's pretty impactful that way. And plus we can piece it together ourselves. We know Ellie survives. She most likely saw Riley turn and then maybe had to kill her. And that's probably what she meant when she told Joel that when she shot Brian, it wasn't the first time she's hurt somebody before, and that she didn't want to talk about it. And that's probably why she got emotional there. But it cuts back to Ellie, like back to when she's about to like open the door or not. And yeah, basically shows that she chose option two here. She decides to stick it out with Joel. She goes into like a medicine cabinet, gets some stitches, and she's gonna fight her best, to try to, I don't know, give her and Joel the best shot she's had. She's not gonna give up on him. She's gonna stay by her side and do all that she can. She was basically inspired by Riley. Like she was thinking, I'm assuming that during that time it was her like thinking about the situation her and Riley were in. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, I gotta say. Yeah, I've been really impressed with like a lot of these like characters that are here for 1 or 2 episodes. It's interesting seeing like how they play off each other, like Joel and Ellie, which has been a constant from episode 1. Like now Riley this episode. Before we had Sam and Henry, we had Bill and Frank before. Yeah, but only 2 episodes left of the show. I don't know what's gonna happen now. Like I'm still hoping, and I'm willing to bet Joel probably makes it through, but I don't know if he's gonna go back to like 100% to how he was before, or if that injury is really gonna hinder him, But yeah, I just really hope. Come on, please have at least a somewhat happy ending here. At least go back to Tommy. If they can live there, I don't know. But knowing this show, they can either give an optimistic ending or they can give like a heartbreaking one. But 2 episodes left. Really curious to see what happens next. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about this episode? Catch you all next time. Bye.